What's up, my people? In this video, we will be finding the slope of a line given 2 points. But let's refresh our memory really quick. We've already done the slope-intercept form. We've got this formula already. We got that one. And then for our point-slope form, we got this one. This one was covered in another video. And but for the slope of a line, what we're going to do today, we're going to be using this one and this over there. That'll be the one we look at today, okay? So here we go. So let's find the slope of a line given 2 points. Now we can easily go, and let's just do a quick review of what slope is. Slope is rise over run. So that's rise over the run, right? And so I got to figure out what my rise is and what my run is. So let's say this was your house and you were trying to tell your friend how to get to your house. And let's say all these lines were streets. You would tell them to go up one street and you would tell them to go down or over 4 streets. So your slope is your rise. You went up 1 and you went over 4. So that is your slope, 1 over 4. Okay. On the next one, we looked, let's say, okay, we went from your house is here, the farthest left, when your friend's house is here. You would say, okay, you would say go down 1, 2, 3, 4 streets. So go down 4 streets, and you would say go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4 streets, right? Down 4 streets is not positive 4, but that's negative 4 because we went down and then we went over 4. Now, this is cool and all, but we have to reduce that. Negative 4 divided by a positive 4 is equal to a negative 1. So our slope is negative 1. Okay? The next one is, I have, did I go up or down? I have no rise. I didn't go up or down, but I do have a run of 1. Okay. What do you guys notice about this line? This line right here is horizontal. And because it's horizontal, that means it is a HOI line. Remember, HOI, horizontal. That means our slope is 0 and we have a y-intercept. So right here, our slope, when you have a 0 on the top of the fraction, it's 0. Okay. Now, if I look at my next line right here, you'll notice that if I'm like, okay, what's our rise? We said, okay, we rose 1, 2, 3, 4. We rose 4. But did we go any left or right? No. So that will be 0. This is a vertical line. And here, remember we talked about Vux? Vux, remember, is vertical. U is undefined. And this is an x equals. So it only crosses the x-axis and never touches the y-axis. So let's go ahead and highlight something. I want you to remember that because a horizontal line is horizontal 0. And remember that if we have a vertical line, we got vertical line undefined. Vertical lines are undefined. Horizontal lines are 0. Okay. All right. So now we found the slope. If we have points, what happens if they just give us points instead of having a picture with the graph? Okay, this is where that formula comes in. And the formula is m equals y2 minus y1 all over, hold on, that line's a little bit too long, all over x2 minus x1. So I have to label my signs. I have to label these points. I have to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve it. M equals, and now before you do anything, I want you to go ahead, put your lines there and put your minus signs there, because sometimes students forget that and then they get confused when they start getting negative numbers. So the first spot at the top is the y2. That's going to be 10 minus y1. That's going to be 3. And then on the bottom, it's going to be x2 minus x1. So that's going to be 10 minus 17. So 10 minus 3 is 7. 10 minus 17 is negative 7. So my slope is negative 1. Now, let me go ahead and say this. It doesn't matter which one you label x1, x2, as long as they're together. See how my first parenthesis right here? They're both x1, y1, and then this one was both x2, y2. Now, let's say I were to swap those. What happens? Let's say I make the first parenthesis my, let's say I make my first parenthesis my y2. My second one, I'm sorry, x2, y2. And let's make this one x1, y1. So exactly opposite of what we did last time. So M equals, go ahead and put a line here, put your minus sign. This time our y2 is 3. Our y1 is 10. I'm going to use blue. Let's go ahead. I'm just going to use blue because, sorry, y'all. I'm going to switch this to blue. There we go. So y2 is 3. Y1 is 10. And then our x2 is 17. X1 is 10. Right? 3 minus 10 is negative 7. 17 minus 10 is positive 7. This all equals negative 1. And what do you notice? They are both the same slope. So it doesn't matter which one you label as your 2s and what point you label as your 1s. As long as you're consistent, you can't make one of these. You can't make like this one the x2 and then make this one y1. That doesn't work. So don't try that. Okay. All right. Next one. So just for the purposes of this, I'm going to make this x1, y1, x2, y2. So I'm going to put my M first, equals, put my minus sign there, and now we're going to jump right in. Y2 is 14. Y1 is negative 10. X2 is 11. X1, negative 9. Now, you guys know I really dislike double signs, and that two minuses together, they convert and make a positive. So 14 plus 10 is 24. And then here we go again. I don't like it. So that makes that 11 plus 9. That is going to be 20. Now, this fraction can be reduced. You can use 2. But the largest number that goes into both of them is 4. 4. So I have to divide this by 4. You guys know how to reduce fractions. 24 divided by 4 is 6. 20 divided by 4 is 5. That is the answer for that slope. All right, moving right along. Here we go again. Equals, put my line, minus. Now I got to go up here and I got to label my stuff. So I'm going to label this x1, y1, x2, y2. So my y2, negative 15. Y1, negative 3. X2, 19. X1 is 19. Then we got this double sign right here. So negative 15 plus 3 is a positive, sorry, negative 15 plus 3 is a negative 12. 19 minus 19 is 0. Again, when we have a 0 on the bottom, that means our line is undefined. And remember, undefined, that is all associated with VUX. Which means that if I were to plot these 2 points, they would be vertical because the X's are the same. So let's go ahead and do some more highlights like we did on the previous screen. When the denominator is 0, that means it's undefined. That means that our X's were the same, which triggered VUX. You will be asked that question, so make sure you know that. Okay, and let's go ahead and do the other one, the next one. So let's go ahead and start with M equals. I'm going to put my minus signs first. Now I'm going to go in and now I'm going to label all of my X1, Y1, X2, Y2. So my Y2 is 1. My Y1 is 1. My X2 is 3. X1 is 13. So I got 1 minus 1 is 0. 3 minus 13, negative 10. So what happens when the 0 is on the top? That is a 0 slope. And when it's a 0 slope, that triggers HOI. Let's go ahead and do some highlighting again. Let's highlight with some pink this time. When I have 0 on the top, that triggers a 0 slope, and that triggers HOI. Okay? So, because if you think about it, you know, you can have a 0 on the top, but you cannot have a 0 on the bottom of a fraction. That's not possible, okay? So, hopefully, you got some good information off this video. If you need to rewind it, do some more practice. And also, I will be showing you how to do this in Desmos. There is another video that shows how to check your work in Desmos. Okay? All right. You guys have a good one, and I'll talk to y'all soon.